It's time to meet the team from Martin Collegiate. Here's Jay Robertson, Ian Maudsley, Trent Casson, Harvey Schmidt, and their teacher-coach, Fred Steininger. And now the team from Central Collegiate. Here's Chris Hesterman, Ian McLaren, Sean Carragata, Herman Thind, and their teacher-coach, Gordon Glakar. Hi, I'm Howard Thornton. Welcome to Flight 3 competition on Reach for the Top. Today we move into semi-final competition. Before we get today's game underway, let's meet our judge, Peter Smith. And now here's our quizmaster, Sean O'Shea.
Thank you, Howard, and we're all set to get underway for this semi-final game. Let's start off with some short snappers. Which French explorer called Canada the land God gave to Cain, Trent?
Cartier.
Right. Who was the Titan who stole fire from the gods and gave it to Chris?
Prometheus.
Correct, gave it to mankind. When Jehovah appeared to Moses and commanded him to deliver his people from bondage in Europe, what form did he take for his appearance? Harvey.
Burning bush.
Correct. What was the former name of boxer Muhammad Ali? Ian McLaren.
Cassius Clay.
Correct. In what period of English history was the madrigal an integral part, Trent?
The 12th century.
No, an integral part of entertainment or at home and at court. Central, Ian McLaren.
The Dark Ages.
No, Elizabethan. Here's a history question, 10 points for the correct answer. It happened 173 years ago that a child who would one day become one of the most influential of Britain's fiction writers was born on that day in Portsmouth, England. Chris?
Charles Dickens.
Correct. Dickens was a dynamic man. After his mid-20s, he produced a book a year. He also edited a magazine and managed a theatrical company, among other things. How many children did Dickens have? Trent?
3.
No. Central, do you know? Chris?
4.
No, he had 10 children. One of his works was partly autobiographical and was his favorite work. What was its title? Ian McLaren.
The Pickwick Papers.
No, Martin. Trent.
Christmas Story.
David Copperfield. And many critics have singled out one of his novels as being his greatest achievement. Ian McLaren.
Oliver Twist.
No, its principal character is called Pip. Which novel, Jay?
Tale of Two Cities.
No, Great Expectations. 10 points for the correct answer here. In the midst of the disaster of farmers speaking from a hospital bed after being blinded by methyl isocyanate, said, quote, Chris?
Bhopal, India.
That's right. I thought it was a plague. Which American-based company owned the plant which, Ian?
Union Carbide.
Correct. 2 weeks earlier, another disaster, this time in Central America, claimed some 450 victims in a fiery explosion. Trent?
The explosion in Mexico City.
Mexico City, that's correct. Another explosion about a week before the Bhopal disaster claimed the life of some 33 miners working underground. Where? Ian McLaren.
Utah.
No. Martin Collegiate.
Thailand.
Trent?
Thailand.
No. The answer there was Taiwan. Now, a who am I question, teams. 40 points if you get it with the first clue. Who am I? I received my scientific education at the École Normale Supérieure in Paris and received my doctorate in 1847. My accomplishments were acknowledged by memberships in both the Académie de Sciences and the Académie de Medicine. Who am I? Chris, for 40.
Schweitzer.
No, Martin. Harvey.
Pasteur.
Louis Pasteur is right, and that is worth 40 points from Martin Collegiate. Now time for a music question. Teams, identify these current Canadian groups. They scored a big hit with last year's Harvey.
Men Without Their Hats.
With last year's Safety Dance, Central Collegiate, Ian McLaren.
Men Without Hats.
Men Without Hats is correct. All right, our second piece of music now. This is a Toronto-based country band. Toronto-based country band nobody knows, the Good Brothers. Okay, third piece of music for you now. 1983 Juno Award winners for Sean.
Payolas.
Best single of the year, Payolas, is correct for 10 points. The only clue you'll get with this one is a successful rock band. Ian Maudsley.
Toronto.
Toronto was right for 10 points. And we go now to a 10-point special teams. Rearrange all the letters in this silly phrase, and you'll find the first and last names, Jay Robertson.
No.
And first and last names of a Canadian politician.
We can't see the...
Sean.
Brian Mulrooney.
Brian Mulrooney is correct. Now a question on animals. Which small animal is said to consume its own weight in food? Chris. Don't know, Jay.
Shrew.
Shrew, every 3 hours. What general name is given to the skeletons of the aquatic animals of the phylum Porifera? Herman.
Cartilage.
No. Martin, do you know? Ian Maudsley.
Chordata.
Sponge. To which class of animals does a tortoise belong? Chris.
Amphibians.
No. Martin. Ian Maudsley.
Reptilia.
Reptiles is right. And who wrote the satirical novel Animal Farm? Herman.
George Orwell.
George Orwell is right. Now a question on cities and landmarks in art. Watch your monitors and listen to the following questions. This famous view of Toledo was painted by what Greek-born master in Spain? Ian McLaren.
El Greco.
El Greco is right for 10 points. U.S. artist Frederick Church did this painting. Ian McLaren.
The Acropolis in Athens.
No, painting of what Greek monument? For Martin. Martin, any answer? Jay Robertson.
Parthenon.
Parthenon is right. Marc Chagall's masterpiece depicts what engineering marvel in Paris, Ian?
The Eiffel Tower.
That is correct. And Albert Frank's intimate street portrait is typical of what Canadian city? Trent.
Montreal.
No, Central. Sean.
Toronto.
Toronto is the right answer there. Now a team question. We'll scramble for 5 points. Which southern state, nicknamed the Peach State, is bordered? Ian McLaren.
Georgia.
Georgia is right, nicknamed bordered by Alabama to the west and Florida to the south. And the rest of the questions all deal with Georgia. This is for Central. The first steamship to cross the Atlantic Ocean is named for the Georgia seaport. Ian McLaren.
Savannah.
That is right. Every April, the city of Augusta, Georgia, hosts which major sporting event? Ian McLaren.
The Masters Golf Tournament.
That's right. Georgia is the native state of the 39th President of the United States, Ian McLaren.
Jimmy Carter.
Correct. And finally, the Savannah River forms the boundary between Georgia and which neighboring state to the northeast? Herman.
South Carolina.
South Carolina is right. Now some short snappers. What is the name of the science which studies earthquakes? Chris.
Geology.
No, Ian Maudsley.
Seismology.
That is correct. Sissy Spacek won the Academy Award for Best Actress, Jay Robertson.
Coal miner's daughter.
No, in Coal Miner's Daughter, but which country and western singer? Sean.
Loretta Lynn.
That is right. What is the raised knob at the front of a horse's saddle called? Ian McLaren.
Horn.
Okay. What is the Chancellor of West Germany? Ian McLaren.
Helmut Kroll.
Martin, do you know? Trent.
Schmidt.
No, Helmut Kohl. Helmut Kohl. And finally, Queen Juliana of the Netherlands lived in Canada when her country was occupied during World War II. Harvey.
Netherlands.
No. She lived in Ottawa in a home now reserved for the leader of the opposition in our government. Sean.
Stornoway.
That is the name we were looking for 10 points. And at the break, Central Collegiate is leading Martin Collegiate by a score of 195 to 120.
We'll be back with more competition between these two very closely matched teams right after this timeout.